following is a production of Dirty Mo Media. Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. back again for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download with my co-host TJ Majors, and we're in the studio. Pretty nice to be back in the studio, and I have been without my...
I've been here.
I've been without my jerky boys, but no more. Jerky boys over here in the gift shop. I was out of town, man. I ran out. I have had no jerky boys for like a week and a half.
You poor thing.
Well,
Holy
yeah.
smokes.
Good thing you can buy some here.
And I've been getting the alerts that your shipment has landed back home, and I'm like, I got bags and bags of jerky at home. Can't wait. So finally, I'm back in the loving arms of my Jerky Boys beef jerky.
I thought you were going to reach for the winning spark plugs. How dumb of me to think that you're doing that and you're going to go for the beef
I have
jerky.
them over here.
It is good jerky.
Here are the winning spark plugs. They keep one. NASCAR keeps one.
I was wondering why you only have 7.
NASCAR keeps one. Okay? NASCAR. I don't know what the hell this is. This is, I guess, my generic win sticker. Yeah. 100 wins. Junior Motorsports. Took a long time to get there. About time.
Did it really take that long, though?
No, I'm just kidding. 101's next. Pretty awesome, man. Great experience. Connor did a good job.
Did anybody do a bad job?
Kyle Larson did a bad job in turn 2.
Connor doesn't think so.
No, he doesn't. Dude, there was a whole lot of drama going on. So we get the little rain shower, and looks like, Justin's got a shot at this if we just can get him out front. He was strong enough with his car, and he was, the air's dirty.
He looks solid.
Yeah, the air's dirty enough behind him that they weren't going to really be able to get to him. And so I'm sitting there, we got that little rain shower, and I got on the radio, and I was like, man, you got to remember this thing's going to have so much grip going off in the corner. We've soaked turn 1, turn 2.
It's clean.
Cool, temperatures down, shade on the track,
it's like
clouds.
Dover.
Like, gosh, dang, dude, think about that. Hammer that thing off in there. You're just going to have way more grip than what you've had all day.
Dover repeat.
Don't tiptoe in there. And he did. He fired off in there, and he lost the lead to the 5, and then we got the restart, and he got it back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hell yeah, boy, you just burnt. You just got the lead from Kyle Larson at Indy on a restart. That's pretty impressive.
It's good.
So get another caution, another restart, gonna do it again. And Larson's like, well, I got to try a little harder because he beat me last time. So he did. He tried a little harder, and he busted his ass over there in turn 2. And, I felt bad for Justin. He hit the wall pretty hard for one, and he's old like me. But he wanted to. Justin has done all these things here. He's raced here forever for Junior Motorsports. And he wants to be the guy that gets the 100th win badly. So I knew he was heartbroken, and he was like, a little bit. He had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about it, like he's gonna go say something or just show his voice his frustration. And I was like, man, let's not do that. Let's not do that because is Larson. Is in the Xfinity car a couple times a year, and he's in that car to win, right?
Only win.
And yes, he busts his ass, but he also has 2 of those 100 wins for Junior Motorsports. And I wouldn't mind his ass getting in them cars and getting a couple more. And that just might happen. And so, I told Rick, and I've had this happen here before. I'm like, you build great race cars that should run up front. You put drivers in them that should run up front. They're going to run into each other sometimes. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens.
Damn, how many times have we been the joke of the series, wrecking ourselves at Daytona and it happens. And it's one of those things where also The engine shop is working their ass off to build us really great motors. The same engine shop that's trying to win a cup championship, that builds dozens of cup engines every week. Their focus is on winning cup races, but they're tasked to build our engines and build them well, and they do.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Right? And if we get to arguing at each other, if we get to arguing with that 17 or bad-mouthing Kyle or whatever, and it's we get to starting something that don't need to be nothing, then it upsets the momentum that all those people are creating. The engine shop could get, the engine shop could lose a little steam, and we all gotta keep pulling the rope in the same direction, and
it's less entertaining for us. Jeez,
I know that.
Would you felt the same had Connor not won? Would you been okay with Justin going up to Larson and talking to him?
Listen, I don't care what Justin does. I just wanted him to know, let's not turn this into us versus them. Look,
he's having a great season.
I go back to Bristol. Justin is leading the race. As soon as Larson caught him, Larson running the back of him and knocked him up the racetrack. I'm like, what the was that? You're faster. You're going to pass Justin. Why'd you drive through us? We're all on the same boat here. Because, Adam Wall worked here as a crew chief. He's the crew chief on the 17 car now. Greg Ives, one of my good friends, is sort of the overseer of that operation. And I think, and we all share information. They know our information. They take everything they take everything we do here with our cars, and they go and take it and they try to make it better. And we like that. And then whatever they learn, we want to take that and make that better, and it's this great way to rise it up, bring it all up, and, so Larson's going to drive the way he's going to drive. He's going to drive hard, be aggressive. He doesn't, apparently he doesn't look at the 7 of Justin and go, man, I should take care of him. That's a Junior Motorsports car.
Well, that's how I look at it, is Justin needs to kind of watch what he does, but if Kyle's not watching anything, then what?
Well, I mean, he's not in the car every week.
Okay. Yeah. I think Justin deserves to have that conversation with them then if this is routinely happening.
He can go have it. But I wanted him to know not to, choose his words wisely.
Maybe behind cameras and not so that it becomes a thing for everyone to talk about.
Because he's going to get interviewed at the Infield Care Center, which he was. Choose your words wisely, because we are all in this together.
You don't want to have a meeting about it.
And we rely heavily on multiple organizations to be competitive. Trackhouse, Hendrick Motorsports, resources coming from all around to make this work. And you can't pull a spoke out of the wheel and expect it to keep rolling down the road. And so it, as much as I wish, Kyle would make those decisions a little differently, like at Bristol or at Indy. Kyle's Kyle. I can't tell Kyle how to race. He's a damn champion race car driver. I wish he would do things differently, but he's going to do what he does. Plus, again, he's 2 of the 100 wins. On my way from our pit box to Victory Lane, I had to walk by Kyle. And he was like, man, I'm sorry. And I was like, I ain't worried about it. I was like, you part of the story. We're walking to celebrate 100 wins. You're one of the reasons why we are doing that today. So, hey, what do you want? What am I supposed to say? You guy? What am I supposed to say? What do people think I'm supposed to say?
I mean, I don't know if you need to say something to him, but I think I'd been perfectly okay with Justin going up to him and saying, dude,
he should
figure it out.
Yeah.
I definitely think Justin needs to stand his ground at some point to it. But did I say he shouldn't?
The way that you made it, to me, it seemed like you were telling Justin, let's not go up to Kyle and have this conversation.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't going to go have that conversation with Kyle because Kyle was still on the racetrack.
Well, yeah, but
when I saw Justin was on pit road after the wreck, and I said, hey, let's just be, You did a good job. You kicked ass on those restarts. This sucks. Let's try to put it behind us. He was walking down pit road like he might go up to that pit box and climb up on it. And I wasn't sure if he was going to do that. Maybe he wasn't. But I'm like, that's probably not the optics that we need because the camera's going to get that. I'm like, we don't need this sort of rift between the 17 bunch that's at Hendrick and us over here. It ain't us and them.
But is it what's fair for Justin to do? Have a text Kyle or have it call him and
he can
do
anything he wants. I don't care. If he wants to talk to him, talk to him.
So behind closed doors, you don't care how he handles it. You just don't want the riffraff. And I don't blame you.
No, I would. If I were him, I would say, hey man, you run over me to get by me at Bristol, knock me up the racetrack, unnecessary. And then this at Indy. Like, I get you're trying to win, but like kind of I would take care of you. Why aren't you what is it that of all the cars that you want to bust your ass underneath? I could get it if it's a different competitor that's not in the house. We're all in this house.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think the other group handles it the same way? If that group, the 17 car over there, whatever, if Justin moves him, say he just wrecks him for a win, is it going to be handled the same way?
I don't care. I do the way I think it ought to be done.
See, okay.
I don't worry about how I think they're going to react, or I'm not going to do, I do and think and make choices in my mind that I think are the right choices. And if I can sleep at night, and I'm not worried about, well, they might not act that way. If that happened if the shoe's on the other foot, how are they going to act? Well, then I'm not going to care. I'm going to do what I know is right. I can go to sleep at night going, I made the decision that was the right decision for me, and I'm moving down the road. And so and you know me, you know that about me. Yeah,
I'm just saying if I'm Justin, I'm having a hard time sleeping at night right now. So
yeah,
I think that might be a little extreme. Like can't sleep at night, TJ.
I'm not saying I would. It would bother me. I'm leading the Brickyard race, which is still a prestigious event.
But
he's fine.
He can have that conversation. I get it.
I'm not saying it is, but I'd be pissed. I'd be mad
to go and do something.
Look at you.
Dale's perspective
look at
as an
you
owner
two going back and forth.
I'd be mad. Apparently you wouldn't be.
Mad and sleeping at night are two different things.
I'm not saying I would. I mean, maybe I was stretching that a little bit.
His head at night down as a champion, and
that's what I said to him. I was like, dude,
you've won 25 times here.
I know. I was like, I know you want to win this race.
Winning was fun.
I was like, I know you want to win at Indy, you want to win the 100, but dude, we carried that damn championship flag around a couple months ago. All this is just icing on the cake. This is just extra credit.
I'm still mad. I'm pissed.
I mean, I want him to do something, but I get it as the owner and the driver to not make it public.
The other thing too, man, it's like if you race in this industry, you are going to have some real disappointing days.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
Disappointing. And this was one of them.
Absolutely. It sucked. I felt bad for him.
And the other side of that conversation is, while all of that is happening, the 88 is now in the lead. Right? And so, I don't know how I would have felt about it if the 88 ain't out on the racetrack and someone else just goes on and wins that race. I'd probably not be really in a great mood, but that's the
it's weird. Part of it's how it goes.
That's the that's
what do they say? That's racing.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the thing that is weird about all this is, like, you got so many cars on the racetrack and you watch one crash and you're like, oh, damn, I'm heartbroken. Now I'm happy because my guy's in the lead, but I'm heartbroken. But I'm happy, but I'm heartbroken, but I'm happy.
And then there's also, not going to be there at Iowa next week. I've got to get the win.
And then you see him on pit road. You got one guy sad, another guy mad, other guy happy. Yeah. You got all of it.
I got my arm around Justin. Oh, it's all right, buddy. And then I'm like, hey, Larson, don't worry about it. And then I'm over here and I'm like, hey, Connor, hell of a job, man.
Had all of them.
What do you do? It's this. And, it's Chicago. Connor, damn it. He didn't run you very smart there. That was how you run you. Good job, SVG.
Cheers.
Hell of a job doing it. And so, I mean, going back to championship race at Homestead, seeing how broken-hearted Elliott Sadler was to lose that race. And I have to go up to him and say, I'm broken-hearted for you, man, even though my other car's the champion. Right behind you is where I'm going to celebrate our championship.
That's what makes this sport so weird.
As soon as I leave you,
I'm happy.
I'm going to hold a championship trophy.
That's good.
I'm
you get
sad that you didn't get it.
It's good you did that first instead of afterwards. You go see the sad part first.
You always do the sad part first.
Yeah.
It's, being an owner, man. Being an owner of one car is real simple.
Yeah, you got one choice. You're there. You don't
Being
have
an
to
owner
deal with
of
all
multiple cars throws some challenges in there. And man, there's some amazing people in our industry that do that very well, like Rick and Roger. And
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they do.
But I don't know, man. It was awesome. Awesome day. And Connor is a hell of a little, hell of a driver. Professional, across the board, does all the things, says all the things. Man, it's going to be fun to keep watching him go.
For sure.
So he's
it's always exciting seeing someone come up like him and winning in multiple forms and stuff
and doing
too.
it so fast.
Yeah.
Like
it reminds what's interesting right now, I think, is that I relate it to I would relate it to an analogy around music. So music, you have everybody's probably had the experience where they've discovered a song, right, that's really good that no one really knows yet, and you're like, this is a good song, and you don't know that it's gonna blow up, but you're like, man, I really really like this song, and it's and you play it for a friend, they'll be like, man, I ain't heard that, and you're like, you ain't heard this? God, I feel like this should be playing everywhere and everyone should know it. No, I don't know it. It's good. I like it. Thanks. And then like 2 months later, you're sick of it because it's all you hear on the radio. Because now it's the biggest damn song in the country. And you're like, I do that way back, And you're not really sick of it, but you're like, all right, everybody loves this song now. It really blew up. I knew it would. I heard it before anyone else heard it around in my little circle. And that's kind of what this Connor Zilisch thing feels like.
the country's sick of him.
No.
I don't think it's on. It hasn't played
I know
much
what you
yet.
mean.
Thanks for knowing what I mean. You're a great host. The idea is that we're all sitting here hearing the song for the first time, and we're all going, damn, this is a good song. But really, the rest of the world has yet to really get a listen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's getting out there, right? I mean, he's in the conversation, but y'all ain't seen nothing. Like if this kid keeps doing what he's doing and gets to the cup level and starts replicating some of the success,
But it's gonna get
the
hard.
sky is the limit.
But Dale's saying though is he's famous in the sport, but he could walk down many streets and not get noticed. But at his age, if he continues on this path, he's going to be known around the country. He's going to be a household name.
Household name, marketable. Oh my God! So we have. I guess I'm. I guess maybe part of it is wishful thinking because we're all like clamoring for that next NASCAR superstar that could take us to Saturday Night Live or get into the places where we don't get, right, and become that national superstar in all forms, right? Entertainment, music. You start seeing them in the music videos and all kinds of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're all clamoring for that next person that drags us into the stratosphere with them, right? Takes the whole sport into the mainstream again. And then that brings the sport back to the level of attendance that we're expecting and hoping for, right? And yes, a single driver can have that type of connection. And I hate to put the pressure on the kid, but I'd feel like that he's got a shot at it. And I feel like that right now we're all listening to this song going, damn, it's a good song, but the rest of the world ain't heard it yet.
Hey, TJ, I like that phone. Is it new?
Yeah, I got this awesome new phone. I've recently joined the Consumer Cellular family, and they hooked me up with a great phone and great service.
You're telling me that your phone actually works at the racetracks?
Yeah, my phone has been excellent at the racetracks, and honestly, you can't beat the Consumer Cellular service and the offers they have going right now.
I mean, that's cool, but I'm assuming that it's probably kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, that's funny. Consumer Cellular is a steal of a deal. I don't know why more people have not made this switch. Nationwide service, fraction of the price, the 2 for $60 plan, no long-term contract. I mean, it's awesome.
All right, I'm in. So how do I get this deal?
They basically have an elite pit crew on standby waiting for you to call and make the switch. It's 100% U.S.-based customer service. Takes around 20 minutes, and it'll be one of the best decisions you ever make. And now it couldn't be a better time to switch to Consumer Cellular and get $25 off with code DJD25. That's DJD25 for $25 off when you switch to Consumer Cellular. Go to consumercellular.com/DJD and use promo code DJD25.
All right, so Sunday, incredible race at Indy. Listen, I saw the Jeff Gluck poll. It's like 50-something, 40-something. I figured that's pretty much on
That's what I was
par
expecting.
for Indy. I watched the race there last year, getting prepared for our broadcast, and man, stage one, nothing happened, and in stage one this year, we had the one car get crashed. Everybody's saving so much fuel that they're riding half throttle around the racetrack, 2 seconds off the pace. You might have about 3/4 of a second to a second of real fall off, but the rest of it's all just riding half throttle, saving fuel. And, you're the leader. You want to keep the lead, so you're running hard enough to keep the guy behind you and second behind you. He's saving, and he's doing the same thing. Everybody's looking in the mirror, riding around, trying to keep their spot, except for some of the guys in the back. And so every now and then, what somebody does is they go, man, I need a little track position. I'm gonna gas it on this straightaway,
Dive bomb.
And so when they start doing that, they're coming up behind you, you're like, this guy's a little close. He ain't saving. What's he doing? You start fading left down the back straightaway to say, hey, I don't want you passing me. You're not going to pass me here. And they get down in the corner, and they're still lifting early and saving. And McDowell, I think McDowell on that particular straightaway decided that he might try to pass the one. And they ended up going down in the corner and running over each other. Pretty funny, honestly. But, it's the talking about the race and talking about the complaints around the car and all that. Listen, I tried to call the car out as much as I could during the broadcast about the next gen car has good things. It also has some bad things.
Of course. They all do.
Yep. One of the bad things is it is the worst car in the history of NASCAR in terms of dirty air directly behind each other. Now, offset, it's not bad.
It's not as bad.
Not as bad. And maybe in some areas, the best car that NASCAR's ever had, or one of the best cars that NASCAR's ever had, when the cars are away, separated, and there's multiple grooves. But at Indianapolis, there's one groove. They ain't never going to be two grooves. That's
never
90-degree turns. Never going to be two grooves. It's always going to be a one-groove track. So every race car that's ever been involved in NASCAR has had aero issues, dirty air. Now, Mark Martin will tell you around somewhere around in the 80s, maybe some of the early 90s, the cars created lift and all kinds of crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
So those cars would not be would not be bad behind each other. You didn't want to lead. You were loose leading. And I drove the Xfinity car at I was able to feel the tail end of some of that aero issues back in the early or the late 90s when I was driving an Xfinity car. I was running at Michigan. Me and Matt Kenseth, nose to tail. And neither one of us wanted to lead. We had about the same speed cars, pretty even. And one would pass the other. And when you got the lead, you get so damn loose, you'd be like, you go on lead. I'm too loose. And you get behind, and Matt gets the lead, and he's up there, and he run about 5 laps, and he's loose. And he's like, yes, you lead. I'm too loose. And so, you get behind them and snug up a little bit and get perfect. And so, and those were the days of the golden era, I guess, of aero tight, aero push, all the aero challenges. There was a golden age. There was a time. There's an equation. There's a
formula for it.
We got Bubba calling in any minute. I'm gonna get into this I'm gonna move on down the road this conversation. But I wrote an email to NASCAR a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I cringe imagining that email is actually out there in the ecosystem somewhere and it still exists.
Well, it still exists.
But I got to tell you about it. But we're going to talk about it after the Bubba interview. Bubba's going to call in any minute. But, man, listen, I didn't go to Indy thinking I was going to see a 90 on Jeff Gluck's pole. I didn't go to Indy thinking I'd even see a 70. I was hoping on a good day you see a 70. I don't care what freaking car you roll out of the garage, 1990, Gen 4, Gen 5, whatever. And we kind of got what we got. It was a entertaining result at the end, and it was exactly almost a carbon copy of the year before.
Strategy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you expect when you go
every year we go back to the racetrack with the next gen car, and the teams have more science, more technology, more understanding. The cars are going to get harder to pass and harder to pass and harder to pass. The gas mileage, the strategies are going to get
we're going to fine tune them
deeper and deeper.
Yep.
Yeah, like the that Penske was doing was next level.
Yeah,
and if the race doesn't have of course they had the tire issues, but like if the race doesn't have the green, white, checker overtime, their fuel strategy was the best.
Yeah, I got them track. They gave away.
They qualified like crap.
Yeah, and they gave away stage points.
Yeah,
just they threw away stages all day for the chance of the win.
Well, Cindric won a stage.
That's right, he did.
Dude,
yeah.
They qualified like crap, but their strategy was really.
They were willing to throw away some stage points if people were. But the thing about there is the lap time we run is so close to. Not many can pit like the window for. It's not like a Pocono where you can be.
It's like 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, pretty tight. Well, Bubba's here. I see him on his. I don't know where he is. Oh, he's got his trophy. He's in his little game room.
I don't know where is he at.
Game room.
Where,
yeah, boys.
Man? I don't see any cool lights or nothing, man.
Yeah, no LEDs or.
That's only
one. I can't have the headroom and all that stuff. You gotta.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we ain't got no blues and greens and all that fun stuff in the background like all the other gamers and Twitchers.
Man, I just moved in. Give me time, man. Give me time.
Wait, you moved in? Damn, you moving into houses? What's the year you move into a new house?
Hell no, I've been building this thing for the last 3 years.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Come on, give me some slack.
So we saw all the social media posts as you got back to the house and had some fun, had the crew over, got to let loose a little bit. And I imagine, I remember, having some big moments in my career, and that Monday and Tuesday, golly, man, coming down off of that high. And realizing, I did that, and I got this, and this is in my, I'll forever be, forever have this memory. It's such a great couple of days post win. Talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, Amanda and I have been talking about it. We've had some get-togethers, people over at the house or whatever, maybe going out to Sonoma. Man. Getting tore up and having a hangover the next day is for the birds. Like I had 2 beers and a glass of bourbon Sunday after the race. And I woke up 7 a.m. Bex is crying, ready to rip. He's ready to go on about his day. So that sobers you up real quick too.
Yeah.
But man, I can't get past 2 more beers and then I'm ready for bed. So damn, I'm getting old. That sounds like an old man. Yeah.
Yeah. Those kids don't care.
They do not care. He doesn't know that we just went to bed at 3 a.m.
Nope.
But it was actually a really smooth day yesterday. Obviously had our traditional debrief meetings. A lot of people pumped to see us in victory lane, getting us a win for 23-11. And, even at the JGR meeting, a lot of handshakes and congratulations there. So that was cool. Hasn't been too much. Today's a little bit more packed. I got a lot going on today, but I think for me, just, I was just sitting here texting with McLaughlin, Scott McLaughlin, and he's, big Indy guy. And you're a massive history buff. And so like winning the Brickyard 400 is awesome. It's really, really cool. It's special, but I think there's bigger levels to it for other people. Like for me, I treat it, it's just another race for me. Right. And he was like, has it sunk in yet? And I was like, yeah, this is actually really cool. I'm pumped that we're locked in the playoffs. We got 4 or 5 races to just go have fun. And he was like, yeah, you wanted Indy though. And I'm like, yeah, like it's awesome. So I don't mean to downplay it at all, but I've just been a guy that doesn't matter if it's Daytona, Bristol, Indy, San Diego.
Yeah.
It is the same race to me. Every race is the same race.
Yeah, and I feel like too, you're right in the middle of a career, and the way your mind has to work is kind of got to be kind of programmed that way, and you'll probably understand or better appreciate or take more stock in the size of the win or the enormity of winning at Indy down the road, right when you're getting toward the bookend of that career.
Right.
But right now, you got to be switched on and thinking about the next day and the next job and the next responsibility and the next meeting and the next car you're going to drive and all that stuff.
That's right.
Hey, I remember being in that grind, and it ain't even nothing like when I was driving. The things y'all have to do now, good Lord.
It's a lot.
I couldn't do it.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But, I saw you after the race. You came over to the desk for the post race for TNT. I'm curious, never won at Indy. What's the rest of that day like? There's more pictures. They do a couple special things. What all did you experience?
Yeah, so I felt bad for Blaney because we share a plane for half the season, and it was probably 2 hours after the Nashville win that he had. Or maybe it wasn't that long. I don't know. But it felt like it was forever after this one. So I started obviously there on the front stretch, and then went up on stage, backed the car up on the stage, platform up there, did our pictures there. Then we went back down to kiss the bricks. Did a lot of photos with the team. I went inside the media center, but not to do media center media. We did something else. And then we came back. We had, what was really cool is Dave Rogers had organized all 3 teams to stick around and get one massive group photo there on at the start finish line on the bricks. So I thought that was really cool. Everybody got to kiss the bricks then. So that was more pictures. Denny came out with his family, and then we went inside. There was media on the front stretch there, so we did that. Then we went inside and did media center media.
Yep.
All the pressing questions. And I'm a guy that likes to talk a lot. And so I give elaborate answers, and so I could control that time frame, but I didn't care, because it was my day. It was my moment.
That's right.
And so, And then we went back down to do the winners interview that they do on pit road there after the races. So we did that, and then we got home, or then we went to the bus and headed to the plane. So it was probably, I don't know what time the race ended. You guys have any time?
No clue.
That ended, because I know
It was early. Still,
it? Okay,
it was going to be
plane
earlier.
at 9.
Yeah, so I looked at before the rain. It was going to be at 5. It was going to be right around 5 o'clock when that race ended, which I thought was amazing.
Okay. Yeah. So we got to the plane at 8:55. We were full speed ahead up in the air. So I felt like it was 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. I'm not really sure. So, but it was a lot. And man, I'll tell you, that was the fastest adrenaline escape I've had. Like, standing on top of the car, I was like, yes, all right, awesome. All right, I'm tired. Holy cow, it's hot. And so that whole time, like walking up on stage, you guys, I was like, all right, this foot goes in front of the other. This foot goes in front of the other. Like, let's just take it easy. I'm not going to be rushed to anything. I told them, for all the media stops, I am sitting in a chair. I need to sit down.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was good. It was awesome. There was a lot of fans after the race that were there and support. Man, it was really cool. So I was pumped to see that.
So you have been racing during the week, during the summer.
Yeah.
With your Legends car, which has kind of been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun kind of to plug into that, because SVG, McLaughlin and Kyle Busch, and there's like this little swell of folks that are kind of like, hey man, let's go have some fun. What's the purpose behind doing that? I kind of think I know why, but what would you say to people if they said, how come you went back to do that?
Yeah, so I went back last year to have some fun, and we couldn't find our way. It was getting frustrating. So Harvick called me up, and he was like, hey, come run with us. It'll be better. And so this was, right around, it was maybe a couple weeks before this time right now, last year. And it was fun just being able to sit there and have conversations with Harvick and Jamie McMurray and everybody on that team, and just talk about life, and it was cool. It was actually a nice refresher. And we just so happened to go race. We're over there in the ARCA garage, so it's kind of out of the hustle and bustle, and you kind of got your own little space. But you'll have other kids walk over it, run legend cars or bandos, and come hang out, take a picture and stuff. So it's fun. This year I thought we could get us a win. Tonight's the last night.
Oh.
And I had a frustrating round last week, and I felt like I wasn't making any progress. I was frustrated with how Sundays were going, although we had just come off of a 7th place at Dover, and I was like, man, I'm done. I'm not going to run the last week. I know my schedule was a little bit busy before I won, and so I pulled the plug on running on tonight. But Saturday night, SVG and Scotty were texting. We were all texting each other, and they had this bet that they made up. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this, but it happened on week 3. Week 3.
Yeah.
I qualified the worst of the 3 of us, and I pull in the garage, and they were just cheering, and I was like, "What happened?" They were like, "You're buying us dinner," and I'm like, "What the hell happened here?" They were like, "The worst qualifier buys dinner," and I'm like, "What about the previous 2 weeks?" So I got thrown into that, and so now it's been a little fun competition. So I qualified bad last week, so I had to pay for SVG's dinner. Actually, I think we ate at the track, so I got a free dinner that night. But anyways, Saturday night we were texting. I think we may have been texting about dinner on Tuesday. What are we gonna have? And I said, I'm out, boys. And they were pretty, I think, genuinely frustrated and disappointed that I wasn't gonna do the last race. And I said, okay, here's the deal. I said, if we win on Sunday, I will come back and race. And then I'll send you a screenshot. I said, actually, when we win on Sunday, I will come back and race. I'm a man of my word. I'm going back to race. I text the Legend Car guys. I said, hey, if it's not too much, I'm a man of my word. Get the car ready, please, and I'll be there Tuesday. But I have an event, or I have something going on until 7:30 tonight, so I'm starting shotgun on the field, which isn't much different than if I qualified. I usually qualify right there too. All about having fun, and here we are.
Man, I haven't drove a Legends car. I'm in 35 years probably.
Yeah.
Just out of my own curiosity, how different is it now versus when you started racing?
Yeah. So no more cutting tires. Motors are water cooled now. Those are the two biggest factors. The tires. What are we on? We're on Hoosiers. Yeah, we're on Hoosiers. But yeah, the no cutting thing is different. So it's straight up. It's kind of the luck of the draw because it's crazy how much stagger is the most important thing on these cars, which we never really talked about in legend car racing.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have the right set of stagger tires, then you're kind of out on your own island. Like the car is awful. And so that's been really challenging to pick up on, and it's easier for guys that run every week, right? They pick up on it right away. Like Heelan, he started finding his way the last couple weeks here. The big car, the transition between the two, like running the late model stuff but going back to legend car, you could definitely see it was messing with him. And so I had an advantage, and then he's a Harvick. He figured it out quick, and now he's won 2 of the last 3, I think. So yeah, so it's different. I miss the old cars. I miss how they drove, but it's all fun figuring it out.
Man, I love that you do it. I think I think it's something that a lot of drivers at your level with as much responsibility. I know y'all are busy at the Cup level, but there's just so much work involved to be a Cup driver, and the joy and reason you got involved in racing can get lost in the Sundays, right? And the work that you have to do.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome you do that.
Yeah, thank you. I looked at it as, man, when we were doing it, back in 04, 05, Kyle was running a little bit still then. But man, it was the asphalt chili bowl. That's the best way to put it. It was 10 weeks of just the best people in the country coming out to run, and 300, 400 plus car counts. And I thought this was the most beneficial car that I ever raced in my career, that got me ready for the bigger cars, just because throttle control and all this stuff. And it had taken a really deep dive, and car counts were down, and pros, let's say 10 years ago, the car counts were super down. Like we'd start with 14 and end with 8. Like it was bad. And so I felt some sort of responsibility. Look, I have been the bad guy back in 04, 05. I was wrecking every weekend, fighting, getting thrown out, whatever it was, racing hard. But now I feel like the elder statesman and feel some sort of responsibility. Like I tell people, go get a legend car, go run a legend car. You learn so much. And I'd love to see it back to what it was. I think there's still a lot of work to get there. But I think, like, look at what Larson does. I mean, he's a prime example of going back and running the grassroots stuff and back to his dirt world and keeping that going. And I feel like, man, I'm trying to get back and do that same thing, but it is a lot of work for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing it, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
enjoy the next couple of weeks. You're going to have some fun just kind of going to a racetrack and not worrying about nothing but winning the race.
Holy cow.
It's
That's
gonna
going to
be
be
fun.
amazing. I said, let's pit on coming to the green and just try some different stuff here.
Keep me
We
on,
ain't got to worry about it.
Keep me on tires.
Yeah.
Keep me on tires. I don't want to be on the offense.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is nice.
All right, man. Thank you,
Yep.
Bubba.
See you, man.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Hey, Dale, I know Tuesdays are busy for you with the Dale Jr. download. You also got your production meeting, so I took the liberty to order you some lunch. I hope you're okay with that.
You bought me lunch?
Well, yeah, of course. And ever since you got us Arby's the other day, I've been craving it, so I went and ordered it again for us.
Well, I was thinking about the Arby's cheesesteak all weekend, so I hope that's what's in the bag.
Bingo, it's exactly what I got you. Side of curly fries, too.
There we go. Oh, you were serious.
Yeah, I got you some curly fries.
Man, this is the ultimate meat and cheese combination for steak lovers like you and me. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. The sandwich is delicious, flavor in every bite, and the curly fries are good, too.
If you want one of these cheesesteaks, you can check out your nearest Arby's today, and you can try the cheesesteak for yourself. You can actually have it delivered like us, and you can use the code DALE for a $0 delivery when you order through the Arby's app. That's the code DALE on the app. Available for a limited time at participating U.S. locations while supplies last. That's pretty good. Pretty awesome to see Bubba get this win. I think I kind of got to know Bubba a little bit when he started racing. Obviously, he's racing Xfinity for Roush, and he and Buescher were having quite the battles. I remember one in particular, I think at Dover, where they had some contact. But, he was having, a tough time finding, stability, consistency. And he seemed, to be kind of struggling personally. And he publicly came out to talk about how he had, he was having a hard time managing, the mental side of it. And I don't want to elaborate or make assumptions, but there's a lot of Bubba comments and his own explanation and his own description of some of the challenges that he was facing mentally. And I kind of really relate to that. And he came on our show years ago and openly talked about it. And so it was nice that he did that, because I couldn't tell why or what, I guess, was the holdup, or what was the barrier, what were the, hurdles in front of him.
You talking about just opening up?
When you don't know somebody's going through something,
mm-hmm.
You can see them struggling professionally or trying to do a job, right? And they're struggling to get the result they want. And you can't really see why, you can't really understand kind of why this ain't clicking, or why they're having such a hard time with it, and why they may have the reaction they have to the end result, Yeah. The frustration on their face, and why they may say things they say in reaction to a bad result or a frustrating result. And I'm glad that he talked about what he was dealing with internally, because it helped you understand how he was reacting and why he was struggling in his racing, right, at times. And so he went through a lot of things personally and found his path with his marriage, creating a family, and he's been able to put himself in a position, I think, at 23XI with Denny and Michael, and
it's a great fit.
There's a lot of people around him that can help him. People coming into his life inadvertently, like Kevin Harvick calling him up and saying, "Come race with us," and him being able to go into that little thing he did last year to go race Legends cars instead of doing it with his, by himself. He goes into Harvick's little program, and now he can talk about life. Now he can talk about,
it becomes more of a fun event for him.
He's getting
guidance,
and so you can see, and I can see, and I have seen him get better control over the internal things going on, and come to terms with some things that maybe he doesn't love about life and his experiences. And it's just it's been interesting to watch, I think, and I'm glad. You love to see the results. You love to see the results.
He's put the work in. He deserves it.
Yeah. And I mean, there was some public things that happened between, in his own personal experiences, his family and so forth, that were tough. And so he's, again, he's had some great friends. Bubba and Blaney are as close as ever. And I think Blaney has always sort of been that guy to put his arm around him on those tough days, not just at the racetrack, right?
In life. Yeah.
Yeah. In life. So, I think that's why this win was so popular among his peers and other people in the industry, is because we all kind of know some of those stories
For sure.
about what he's dealt with and some of the struggles that he's dealt with off the racetrack. And, I think that's why a lot of people are glad to see him sort of coming into his own as a human being, right? Not just the race car driver part.
Do you see like a little bit of relief or anything with him now? You know,
of course. I mean, winning a big race like that.
Yeah.
I've been in those situations where you have a long dry spell and everybody's talking and people don't, that's when the hate, that's when people that don't, that think you're overrated, they come out and they're all like, yep, see, he's overrated, man. He's getting all this attention. I heard it all through parts of my career, oh man, Dale's running 20th, but that's all we're going to see on the broadcasts. We're always going to have these Dale updates about where he's running, and he's running 20th. And so, I remember all that. I heard all that. And it wears on you a little bit. So when you finally get back to victory lane, I remember when I won at Michigan, I think it's 2012. We had this long dry spell. Jimmy Johnson comes into victory lane as expected, as he always would when his teammate won. And first thing I said when I saw him is, "I'm a winner, man. I can't believe it." I mean, and not so much like I'm a winner, man. It was more like I am a winner.
Yeah. Oh, I am. Yeah. I did.
Yeah. And so, that was I had some pretty long dry spells in my career, but. You always feel like you can listen, no matter what. You don't really question you. You think about it every now and then. Man, is it really me? Nah, it can't be me. I'm good.
Yeah, it's definitely not me.
I can drive a car.
You didn't forget.
No, and it's the car isn't doing what it needs to do. Right.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
the car is a really big part.
The biggest part of it. But and you just have to kind of hang on to that belief that you can do it in the right circumstance. I'm not saying the right race, things fall in the right way, boom, you fall into a win. I'm saying you get put with the right crew chief. You get guys like you not only the crew chief, you got to have the car chief, the engineer, the crew that goes over the wall. All those people have to believe you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
They have to believe you can do it.
Otherwise, they're not going to push themselves.
Nope. If one guy on that crew goes over that wall thinking, doesn't matter how I do this job because we're not going to in today.
That's not good.
Because the driver can't drive. They go over there, instead of doing a 9-second stop or a 10-second stop, they do an 11-second stop. And it's just little things like that
and it's contagious too. It starts...
Yeah.
He gets someone else
He does, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just...
He's with the carrier, and the carrier gets that virus, and the next guy gets it, and the next thing
Snowballs.
you know. Yeah. So it's I can kind of relate to some of the things that he's dealt with, but
I'll be curious, TJ, talking about the relief, like how does he race these next couple of weeks? No longer on the bubble, as we've always talked about every year. I feel like, does it free him up a little bit, like to just kind of be himself and not press to try to get certain points and stuff and just go out there and race?
He can, I mean, he's sitting there probably, he's probably sitting there. He's relieved that he doesn't have to race all the way to Daytona and sitting. He was in Daytona, I think, last year, sitting there. Man, am I gonna make it? Am I not gonna make it? And he's been in that situation many times.
It's not fun.
Nope. Where you got points to get, but you need. What if somebody's up there that could win, and you got to be up there to try to defend that, right?
Oh, you're in. Oh, wait, new leader.
Yep.
Oh, we got to beat him now. Go. Yep. That's not fun.
No. And he's probably very thankful that he's not got to worry about that anymore. But he's probably also, I know, Bubba, and like any other race car driver or anybody else that's competitive, he's probably going, "Damn, I wish I would have won this race months ago. I'd love to have all that stress back," right? Because I won in Daytona in 2014. I'm like, holy I ain't got to worry about nothing. What a year this is going to be, right? What a year this is going to be.
It did make it a lot easier.
Holy and we got to not give a all year.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yes.
It was really nice.
And so, We got to go be aggressive and call races however the hell we wanted to call a damn race. That was fun.
Yeah, makes it way easier. People, if you're not in that situation, you're probably not going to really understand it.
That's right.
But it's definitely difficult.
Getting back to Indy, and the next gen car, I know a lot of people could complain about the car, and they should, but there ain't no changing coming. There ain't no big change coming down the road. They built this is a race car that's got a lot of influence from IMSA, and from V8 Supercar, and all those things, and it's here to stay. The diffuser and all those things that are creating the problems in terms. I mean, there's one moment in that race where Eric Jones is behind somebody going down into turn one, and he's almost to the left rear quarter panel, and they shut the door, and he just took off up the racetrack, and he gets passed by Byron in the next corner. And that right there, that is the crux of the next gen car. That is the issue.
You don't have any weapons when you're behind somebody.
The air going under the front of that car to get to the diffuser. If you shut that off, you're and that's why that car reacts the way it does versus anything we've ever had before, because we never worried too much about underbody. There was not a diffuser. You didn't have to worry about the air coming under the splitter. You try to get the splitter on the ground. And, so that's what we're dealing with. And when you got a one groove racetrack, you can shut that air off to the car behind you all the time. And that's why, we didn't see any passes for the lead. That's part of the car, but also part of the strategy. Guys didn't want to pass. Guys needed to save fuel. I can't mash the gas pedal and go into first.
Yeah, there was a lot more guys going harder in the beginning of that race than I thought, though. Like, it wasn't the front part of that. The front part there was going harder than I expected. Like, even around where we were, like around 12th, 13th in the beginning, the two cars, because I was looking at throttle traces, they were going hard.
Yeah, well, Briscoe was sitting there at half throttle out in front leading the race. And that's how dirty the air is. You're running wide open in 12th or whatever, and the leader's half throttle, and he ain't in no threat to be passed. So, listen, the car, the car's gonna be this way at racetracks where there is not a very, very wide groove.
It's one lane.
And so that's why we struggle at short tracks, road courses, and places like Indy.
Yeah,
with this car.
And the corners are unique there too. There's you get on long straight and you got a pretty sharp corner, and there's only one lane to really go through it. So it's kind of a unique place.
Yeah, it's like a road course.
It's definitely a fast road course.
We see the same struggle, I guess, with the car.
Sure. Yeah.
We see at the road courses because of the fact that at a road course, one lane, one groove, one way through.
Yeah, we all go there. I mean, you go there just knowing that.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's hard to. It's frustrating a little bit. I mean, listen, I know that that's what I'm going to get when I go to the racetrack at Indy and watch the race. So I can wrap my brain around it and go, man, I know that's how it's going to be. I know that's what we're going to see. But I'm still going to find something. I'm still going to be entertained. I mean, at the end of the race, there was
a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was not leaving. I was not,
You see the videos of.
I wasn't falling asleep. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, this is pretty interesting. Wonder what's going to happen here." But damn, I mean,
do you see the videos before, like in the very first handful of races they have there? You got cars swapping the lead back and forth, and like.
Well, that was when, I mean, the aero was different back then.
I know you kind of I know going into like what you said, I know what kind of race I'm going to get and how it's going to be. I know how frustrating it's going to be, but then I get there and I see these videos. I'm like, damn, that looks a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Well, it was different because the cars could get to each other and you could drive up to
manipulate the air.
You could get to the back of another car in the middle of the corner. You can't do this car. You cannot get near anyone.
Yeah, even the Xfinity cars had. This is probably one of the worst places for Xfinity cars aero wise as well. So that just tells you, and Xfinity cars are usually the better the better, and it's a struggle in them cars there.
Yeah.
So the track makes it hard.
Yeah.
In general.
Well, when they went to listen, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. We know too much, but when we went to a splitter, when we went to a splitter, there's a flat board on the front of
the
Xfinity car, and that board's been there since the COT. All right, we went away from valences. We joke about it online, and there's plenty of tweets from my history about team valence and all that stuff. What we mean is when you had a valence on a car and not a splitter, teams could take different approaches to how they would travel the car, and the valence would wear off. It would go down in the corner and grind away. And different teams ended up in different places in terms of travel. And so you had 40 cars on the racetrack and multiple different things going on with each car in terms of geometry, travel, and that would give you cars that were better in different areas of the racetrack, and the cars could interact and engage with each other differently and better in the corner. And so you could drive up to a guy's rear bumper, get him loose or whatever, and get under him and go by. And when we introduced the splitter,
sealed,
now everybody is going to put the car on the deck, and everybody's car is going to travel to the same spot, because everybody's splitter is the same, mounted on the car in the same place. So now we all know, all right, we're all going to get the splitter on the ground, and every car in the field was identical.
It made the air a lot worse.
It was like
too.
a light switch. We went from everybody doing it a little differently. Everybody's got a little different front spring thing. Everybody had different things going on in the front springs and shocks and everything else to try to get the car where they thought it needed to be. And now we all have a splitter where we go, yep, we got to be on the ground with the splitter, and that's that. And so everybody was the same. And in that very moment, in around 2008, when we went full COT racing with a splitter on the car, we up. We up. And ever since then, we've sort of lived in this world the car travels.
Air.
Yeah, the car travels to the limit. Everybody's going to travel the car to this point. The one saving grace we have right now, I guess you could say with the next gen car, is that now everybody's traveling the back. In the same way we used to travel the old cars. Now you need to get the back down, but you're not sure what's too low, what's too high. It's a bit of a science and a guesswork, and everybody's a little better than some guys nail it. Some guys aren't quite there.
There's different theories on it still.
And so that's the one thing that's kind of given us oh man, they hit it today. They're good. Oh, the Fords are good. Oh, the Toyotas are great this weekend, or because they're all working together. They're all using the same tools and information. So you go to Indy and boom, all the Toyotas qualify up front, and the other team, the Fords are slow and the Chevys are okay, and then the next week it'll be a different group, right? And it's because of the variation of how they set the car up. So that's kind of helping us with some comers and goers from week to week.
Passing.
Yeah, and just a little parity, I guess. But that splitter. We joked about it, but we were semi-joking, but mostly serious about being team valence and how when the splitter was introduced into NASCAR, how it was a detriment to the product on the racetrack. And it still is a bit of it's problematic today.
And it didn't tear up when you had the valence. You didn't, when you slid through the grass or you did something.
That's a whole nother thing.
You didn't rip the whole front of the car off.
Yeah. But that email I wrote. So I got on a damn. I was really bothered, by the product on the racetrack at one point. Really fed up with it, and I wrote an email to Steve O'Donnell and I can't remember who all was on there, but it was Helton, O'Donnell, and a couple other people. And I used the example of the 1980 World 600, the last 20 laps. And I tweeted about this too. I tweeted the replay of this race. And there's a YouTube clip and I retweeted that clip of the last 20 laps of the 600 from 1980. Benny Parsons and Darrell Waltrip are battling for the lead. And they're by themselves. And yes, there's probably only 4 cars on the lead lap in that race. That's not the point. That's what Harvick, when I sent this tweet out, this is probably in 2020 or 2018, 19 or something like that. Harvick goes, oh, yeah, that's great. What a great race. Only 4 cars on the lead lap. I'm like, that's not the point. The point is watch these 2 cars and how they can interact with each other. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, that is pretty cool. And so I sent this email and I said, y'all, look at how these 2 cars can move around in proximity to each other all the way around the track, and how one gets the lead and the other gets it back. And when you got out front, you weren't at an advantage.
Yeah.
You were at a bit of a disadvantage.
A little bit.
Going back, and this goes back to Mark Martin talking about the cars creating lift and all types of things, and how it wasn't easy to be the leader. It was hard. It was not an advantage. And so I sent this email and I wrote this, this probably long paragraph to Helton and O'Donnell and those guys. And it was foolish at the time to think that it was going to make a difference. But I was like, I think this is around the time when we went to Indy with this really stupid tall spoiler, and they basically put the Daytona package at Indy, and they thought, man, this will create passing. Somehow, some way, we'll just put enough drag on them that they'll just drive by each other on the straightaway. And it didn't happen. Nothing. And then everybody was so frustrated, wondering what to do, right, to make the racing better at Indy. And we ended up leaving the oval and going to the road course, which was frustrating in itself. But I wrote this email and I was like, look at how these cars can get right in each other's door and all right on each other's bumper, and they can all over each other in the corner.
Yeah.
And you don't see anybody get bad out of shape or suffer from any kind of like aero push or loose or tight. The cars just can drive all over the top of each other. And why can't we, with everything we have technology-wise, take those 2 cars? There are still restored, I had this Monte Carlo right here. Why can't we take these cars and put them in the wind tunnel? Or take the car Mark Martin thinks was the best and put it in the wind tunnel, and try to at least understand the ideology of the car and why it would be better, right? And not that we're going to build this car and start racing it, but we need to know, what we need to know is, all right, what's the overall downforce? What's the drag? Where is the lift? What's the front? What's the rear? Why does all of that work together well? And if we can at least understand maybe, just the theory and having answers to say, okay, here's why these cars here's why this guy could drive right to his back bumper and just hang there and stay in his ass right all the way through the corner and then just turn left off on exit and go by. Like, give me the answer to that in a technical term.
I'm assuming that's probably already been done somewhere.
Nope. And then, and Mark Martin talking about lift and all those things, and gather all this data and say, hey, is there any chance we can apply some of the theory here to what we're doing or what we may do in the future?
Yeah, what can you do to get to that?
We're not going to drive next gens for 20 years. There'll be another car.
For sure.
Right? Could we not start thinking about, all right, what does that next gen car look like, and how can we apply some of the things we know about the past to try to figure out how to get this car to react that way. And so a guy can drive right up somebody's trunk in the corner and not be bothered.
As a driver, you want those in your toolbox to be able to use. You want those that you want to be able to attack.
Yeah. Look, and I sound like an old head, crying about the full season championship. I'm just asking somebody to, take the knowledge from the past, because we didn't have the tools. We didn't have the tools to be able to understand these cars from the 80s and from the 90s. We didn't have the tools we have today to truly extract the data and the arrow and the understanding. And now we might be able to sort of go, hey, that's why that works so well. And maybe there's some information there that we can apply to the future. That's all I'm saying. Why wouldn't you want to do that? If it passed the eye test, if you watched those two cars in that 1980 600 in the last 20 laps, you watched them two cars, you can't tell me that you would not love to see that in a modern form.
Oh, I would love to see 10 guys in them cars right there.
You can't just dismiss that and go, we can never have that again. You got to look at that and go, what's the science behind what I'm seeing here, and how can I take the knowledge of that and try to apply it to the next opportunity, and in an attempt to make what we see every Sunday more entertaining, right? And so that's what I think we should be trying to do. But because
did you get a response for the email?
I don't think I did, but it's out there.
It's there.
I'm sure it belongs somewhere, it's somewhere in the. I bet if O'Donnell hears this, he'll produce it, and it'll be embarrassing.
Spam folder.
Can we take your car to a wind tunnel and do it ourselves?
Yeah. Well, we need two of them, and I can't remember. Mark Martin was talking about one particular style of car that I think it was the mid 80s. The cars would create lift and all that, and that's insane. To imagine a car creating lift. And what a handful that must have been. Good Lord. And so you wouldn't be giving a about damn tires. We wouldn't talk tires. We wouldn't give a about a tire fall off, where this and that and other. Goodyear would be like, thank God. They get them damn cars to create some lift. So that's that. We have to work. We just make sure the tire don't come off, right? Make sure the tire don't blow up.
Do you think, like, if you do get, obviously there's a downside to having cars that do that. Is there a downside? Like, what is, like, does it get more dangerous for the drivers? Is there more chance of a car going over? Does that play a role into it?
I think that NASCAR racing should be dangerous.
Yeah. It could still happen today, but, like, do you think that's part of the reason why we're not having a package like that? Because those cars back then, when they flip in the mid 80s, they were. Yeah,
we got roof flaps and all kinds of things that,
and they didn't have
when
that
the cars
stuff then.
Get backwards. Yeah, that you would go. You might run in. What you might end up doing is getting down the road. If you did say that hypothetically, NASCAR goes, hell yeah, let's go build a
great email.
Let's
Dale.
build a research team and go down this path and start trying to extract all this awesome information from the cars we raced in the 80s and the 90s, and what can we learn? And let's take that information. And you might get down the road and go, yep, what we learned is, if we try to build a car like this and it spins out, it's flipping over every time. What are we going to do then? You're going to run into some. I think you would always, in this, if you did do this exercise, you are going to run into. The reason why we can't do this particular thing or add this back is because it was bad in this situation, right?
But doesn't that make the drivers race with, like, doesn't it make the drivers race more respectfully kind of at times as well? Like there's a whole like line of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, yeah, I could drive it in that. I could put it in there, but I might be in a bad spot here.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, if you know, that's, yeah. I
Like
mean,
the
they
blocking
do,
whenever.
they do that now. They know, to your point, yes, they would adjust. If you changed the way the car drove entirely and it was treacherous and bad in certain situations, they would learn that and they would avoid. If they do that now, they know, I can't follow this guy down into the corner at Charlotte because I need the air under my car, so I have to go where he isn't. So I can't run down in the corner behind him. That is not a option.
Like even some of the blocking that's happening now, like you knew like back then you didn't block a big run like they block now because like at Daytona whenever the big blocks are coming, I think Brad turned William Byron one time and he said you can't, like, these blocks aren't acceptable, like, because he kind of came up in the time where you just didn't throw blocks like that because it was unsafe. And I think the racing would be better, but it would also be more. You just wouldn't have the. I don't know. I just think it'd be better.
Yeah, man. Back in, that's a whole nother conversation. But when you were leading the race at Talladega or Daytona, and you come down the back straightaway, so 1979, Donnie blocks Cale into the grass. They wreck.
Big wreck.
Right. Busch Clash, 1980. Darrell blocks Dad down the back straightaway. Dad just goes to the outside. And Dad says something in the post race. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't want to do what happened in the 79 500, so I just went to the outside." And so your like drivers learn, change, evolve, see something. Oh, that looked bad. I don't want to do that. I won't,
sure.
I won't put myself in that spot. But I think that my summary on all this is, number one, I think we should stay on the oval at Indy. I'm glad we're back.
For sure. I love it.
I don't care how bad or boring the races are. We should never go, we should always stay on the oval. Can the races get better? Yes. If I was NASCAR, I would be trying to do a little science and research to try to figure out how I can actually make the car race better there. And this is something that they've been trying to do forever. It's the reason why we left the oval. They were throwing the kitchen sink at this car, the previous version of the previous generation. They were throwing everything at this car to try to make the thing race better because no one was coming to the race to see it. And I mean, so I'm not to NASCAR's defense. Like they tried their ass off to figure out how to get the Cup car to race better at Indy.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
I agree.
But when to your point, when you look at the historical races, the cars, when we first started going there, the cars could get to each other a little better, and as we got more sealed off, more, as a splitter came in and we got the cars on the deck and everybody living in the same space and travel and, aero become more and more and more important, harder and harder and harder to get to somebody in the corner. And the dirty air became tougher and tougher and tougher. And now the gap is getting bigger and bigger and bigger between, the cars. So, but hey, I know all this, and I go there still happy to see what I'm going to see. I know the first.
I'm still excited to go there.
I know the first stage is going to be riding around and just trying not to up and not a bunch of crazy happening. I was surprised we even had a wreck. I thought it was humorous that we had a crash in the first stage because I was expecting it to be very difficult to broadcast because of the lack of action. I knew that stage 2 and stage 3 would become. All right.
Yeah, it's going to pick up.
Yep, picking up. Getting ready to go down.
Who's doing what? Who's pitting when?
Now with like fuel mileage, they're running the race like they kind of run the Daytona and Talladegas, where they're riding around half throttle and so forth, trying to make sure that at the end of the race they're putting as minimal amount of fuel in as possible. It's just going to get, it's going to be what it is. I'm not really complaining. I'm just kind of like, hey, I'm stating the fact.
Yeah, I mean, you know that going there.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it.
I wish it was different.
Yeah, but is what it is.
Yeah. All right, it's time for the Lionel Ultimate Racing Collector. It's time to select this month's Ultimate Racing Collector presented by Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Is this it?
This is
We're looking at the video?
This is our winner.
Damn.
This is amazing.
Well, they love Richard Petty. They love the number 43. They got a ton. Oh, I see some Earnhardt there. I see some Bubba Wallace. So they were big Richard Petty fans, and they then inherited fandom for Bubba Wallace when he came through the program.
It's a lot of your dad.
Yeah, I said Earnhardt.
He said that he had a good amount of year stuff, but sold it so he could buy the racing sim.
Make
setup.
more room for
a sim.
Yeah. He sold my. All right. I see how it is.
Man,
he's got some stuff.
Some of them glass cases.
Darryl
right
Waltrip, he's got a little Darryl Waltrip wall.
Yeah.
DW's going to love that.
Denny Bros.
Look at that. What is this? 88. Oh, it's like a little mashup.
Yeah.
That's cool. I
like those cases,
I like
man.
the 17 Tide Monte Carlo. The name of this individual is Duke Smith. Very good looking collection, Duke. So congratulations, Duke Smith. You're this month's Ultimate Racing Collector. Thank you to Lionel. And
that's pretty nice.
Hell yeah, brother.
Really good job.
We'll do it again next month. So
We'll do it again next month. Yeah, if you didn't win,
try again.
keep sending your in. It might get over the top the next month. You never know. Don't give up.
Got to be in to win it.
Good job, Duke.
Good job, Duke.
Hey, everybody. You want the latest Dale Jr. download apparel? Visit shop.dirtymomedia.com. We're always adding new stuff all the time, especially like when we say something silly on this show. We'll put it on a t-shirt. Again, check it out at shop.dirtymomedia.com. Xfinity, we're promoting their Wi-Fi service. Xfinity has the mobile service, but also the Wi-Fi service. They also do streaming and all kinds of things, man. So anyways, they put a ton of money and support into NASCAR in multiple ways. And one of them is through our partnership at Dirty Mo Media. So we use their Wi-Fi. I have their Wi-Fi at my vacation house and at the beach, and it's awesome. And so you choose the right plan for you. I chose the plan that I thought I needed. I went with, I think, 200 meg to handle all the things. We had baby cams and security cams for outside and all. We had probably about 35 different pieces of equipment that we're going to connect.
You got a lot of devices.
Yeah, a lot of devices.
Jeez.
And, well, you got a printer and
that's the first thing that came to your mind was a printer?
Well, I got to print
They
stuff.
run all day?
I got to print things.
You look like a big printer.
Yeah. I have a record player that connects to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, what? Really? A record player?
Yeah. It sends its signal of music to the speaker through Wi-Fi. Okay. Pretty cool.
Better have some booming Wi-Fi.
I know. I had 200. That's the plan I chose. And then they will write you an email. They don't know who the hell's property this is. They're not like, oh, it's Dale here. Let's give him more. They're just like doing this to their regular customers down there. And so they wrote me an email and they're like, hey man, no extra charge, but we changed the speed. And I'm like, oh. Because you deal with these companies all the time, and they'll have a new program or a new campaign where they're like, man, we've lowered the price on this, and you'll be like, well, I want that, but they won't tell you that you can get it. You gotta actively reach out and go, hey man, I see that y'all are now selling what I'm paying for at a reduced price. I would like to change. You get that a lot of times, but they'll write you an email and go, man, we gave you a little bit more. Just saying.
They saw all those devices.
Nothing for you to do. Just hang out.
Got that record
Enjoy
player.
the speed.
You got that record player. You need to give you a little bump.
It's booming.
Sounds like you're streaming in
I like
overdrive.
that man. I mean, you look, they are asking us to promote their brand and their product, but they are badass. They do a good job.
Easy to do.
Hey, they do a good job. There ain't many companies sending me emails going, hey man, we're going to give you some more of our at no extra cost.
So they don't send you free more beef jerky?
Jerky boys should do that.
That's just
Start a rewards program.
Jerky Boys is not cheap to make.
Buy
Thank
10
you.
bags, get one for free.
Boy, that'd be nice.
Thrown out there.
Start your own jerky business. See how it
Travis
works.
and I will.
Yeah.
Jerky guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not boys.
Danny Bros beef jerky.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some questions from the fans. I saw a lot of this question from the Xfinity race. Should Austin Hill be suspended?
Yeah. I can't wait to see.
I know we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be finding out within the next day or two,
Yeah.
right?
You have to.
Oh man.
I mean, how do you not?
I don't know.
Like,
I can't. I don't know. I wonder if. I wonder if NASCAR is going to.
we're live, by the way.
Oh, I know.
He's going to send them an email, TJ.
Yeah. That's an inside joke for
Yeah,
earlier in the show.
yeah, gotta listen.
I think if you right rear someone and all you get is a 5-lap penalty, that you kind of keep your mouth shut and you keep on going, right? You kind of go, all right, I'll take my 5 laps.
Right.
Darn,
You don't say what
That's
he said.
not what
You don't say what
yeah.
you say.
No.
You don't say what he said. You got to feel lucky that the suspension wasn't much worse than that. But you also in that moment, right, when you're on the radio cussing NASCAR, you got to be thinking they're not done looking at this, right? And so
100%.
yeah, and you don't want to push them towards making that decision easier for them to give you steeper penalties.
Yeah, I don't think you want to poke the bear. I mean, the accident, that was a bad wreck.
It was bad.
It's pretty bad.
Bad.
So are you not going to answer it, Dale?
So, TJ, you answered. You said yes. he has
I don't
to
see
be
how you don't,
suspended.
because if this is the precedent we're racing with going forward, I don't want to see that.
Did they suspend
But-
Austin Cindric for the
There's
right
t-
hook?
see,
They
that's-
didn't.
They
All right.
gave him a 50-point penalty, and
Yeah.
I think they said
Yeah.
because of speed.
Yeah.
Well, Indy's
A 90-degree corner.
Listen to
it's
me.
a dangerous place to do it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll chime in whenever you guys are done. All right. My frustration. So should he be suspended? Yes. I think anybody that right hooks anybody should be suspended. No question. The frustration is that they don't always do it, and they judge by speed or whatever. They shouldn't. They shouldn't judge by speed, because now you got drivers going, we're at a slow track. I'm gonna right hook the out of this guy. I'll be okay. We're at a fast track. Can't right hook him today. Next week, right hooking the out of the guy because it's a slow track or we're at a slow corner. That ain't the way it goes. That ain't the way we should look at it. So, I not to pick on Carson Hocevar, but he right hooks a guy at IRP on the front straightaway in a truck race. Last year, year before, whatever. Should have been a damn suspension. The Cindric with the Ty Dillon
At Coda. Yeah.
suspension.
You were okay with it not being a suspension.
I changed my mind.
I lived through that.
So I feel like it's like I just don't like to think about things.
Just black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
One
you do
plus-
it, you're done.
1 + 1 is 2. We're done. And I don't like I don't think it's a great idea to get into the, well, it was this, it was that, it was slow,
Yeah.
it was this track, it was this track. No, let's just say, man, right hooking is bad. It's against the code. And, now sometimes it's hard to tell, but this was an easy one.
And
Yeah, I
reminder,
feel-
if they do suspend him, he loses all playoff points.
That's true.
I thought you were going to.
My fear is that NASCAR won't suspend him because they will. Me and Steve Letarte had this conversation. So, couple things. NASCAR makes this rule, right? We're going to, if you get suspended, you lose your playoff points. You're still eligible, but you don't take your playoff points and they're gone. They made that rule, I suppose, to deter people from doing things that would get them suspended. But here we are. here's a situation where we all feel like this is a valid suspension. And my fear is that they're now going to be afraid to pull that lever because of what it does to his playoff points.
Yeah.
And Steve's, me and Steve were kind of laughing about that because we're like, man, this is kind of NASCAR. This, they make this rule, and then when somebody pushes them to that ledge, they get nervous about actually making the decision. And, because it's so detrimental to Austin Dillon's playoffs.
Austin Hill.
Or Austin Hill's playoffs. And so, I don't know. I just get a little nervous about how, and NASCAR could even go. So, all right, there was I can't remember the exact example, but a couple months ago, somebody right hooked somebody, or somebody did something intentional that everybody felt was intentional, felt it was clear cut, and they didn't react in the moment. And we waited till after the race to do something about it. And everybody, all the fan conversation around it was, why didn't you just do something then? It was clear and cut that there was a intentional thing done. Why didn't you just penalize them in the moment, in the race? And Elton Sawyer was like, well, we like to look at it. We don't want to, what if we penalize them and we learn later that it wasn't intentional?
Yeah.
We like to wait and see and get it all right. And we don't want to make a mistake. We had him on the show talking about it, or at least I was on the phone with him discussing this. And he's like, well, we don't want to, what if we make the mistake of penalizing somebody 5 laps and we learn that it wasn't intentional? Then we've done something we can't undo. And I'm like, oh man, I think you got to take the chance. I think you got to take that risk and that chance. And so here they go. They see something. They go 5 laps. So NASCAR has made the decision that they believe it was intentional, right? By choosing to penalize him 5 laps. So that's already decided. Will they get cold feet about a suspension? Because that's kind of been the precedent, right? Chase Elliott.
This is exactly the same as that.
Yep. That's the precedent. That's
maybe
been
worse.
Set. That's what they told me when I said the word, what was it? In Talladega?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the phone call, man, we're going to penalize you. I said, man, I said that happy. The other guys that got, Sauter got penalized a couple weeks ago. He said it because he was mad. I said it when I was happy. Well, the precedent has been set. So I like to say this even today because that's what they said to me. It pissed me off. I was like, well, the precedent has been set. So what will NASCAR get cold feet and go, do we really want to take away his playoff points? Because this just compounding the penalty that we already gave him in the middle of the race. Can we get away with saying what we did to him in the race was enough? And they might. You don't know. But Austin's had a couple things, right? More than a couple. The deal with Cole Custer at Charlotte, this year at bowling through people at Martinsville. The thing that I would say is that he needs to kind of dial it back, because this guy he's trying to get into the Cup Series, I imagine, right? Like everyone else,
Of course.
he's trying to get up there, right?
I would say yes.
He's not doing himself any favors creating this sort of narrative or reputation around how the decisions he makes on the racetrack is all I'm saying. So that's not conducive to what he what he's doing there. I guess isn't conducive to what he's trying to achieve and where he's trying to go.
I just don't see that what part of that move deserved to get right hooked.
You're in the heat of the moment, and
He saved it too.
Well, Eric didn't.
Or Austin Hill saved it. Like he was going to continue his
Well,
race.
yeah, he was fine.
Yeah, and then
He just got him loose.
yeah.
That's what we talk about. We want guys to be able to do that stuff, but I mean, you can't have
Listen,
this.
Eric Eric said so. He's like, I had to go. I had to, I had a good enough car. I thought I could get up there and win, and the guys are driving away from us. The 21 had nose damage. He was slowing us down. I had to get by him. He blocked me a couple times. I was like, all right, I don't have much choice.
But I don't think there was something wrong with that. That's what you expect him to do.
Man, that's racing.
Exactly.
Dude,
that's what we want.
yeah.
We're screaming for the guys to get to them.
Yeah. Like if you're going to move somebody, you move them, and that's completely fair. You don't turn them. He didn't back Austin Hill into the wall.
Yeah.
He didn't ruin his race. He just got him up out of the groove. Austin's going to lose 1-2 spots.
Austin would have done the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know how it is though, TJ. These drivers, they put the helmet on there in the moment, and you're not thinking, oh, what he did there was just racing, and sometimes you just react.
I don't know how drivers are during races. You're right.
That move is so far over the line, it's not even debatable. That is so far against the code, it's not even debatable. I'm curious as anybody else as to what happens, if anything.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
We will certainly find out for sure.
And what they've done in the past has been from suspension to nothing. So
Right.
Who knows where this is going to fall?
Right. I mean, he could just get slapped with fine and some points and then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting for sure. This next question is coming from Carolyn. And they saw you posted before they even woke up yesterday, already at the racetrack testing at Anderson. So
It's
how
so
was
hot.
that?
It was hotter than hell. God almighty.
Even
It was
that early in the morning?
90 degrees by 9:30 in the
Oh,
morning.
God.
Were you fast?
I felt like I was fast. I was the only one there, so I didn't compare to anyone else. But I got Caden. So Caden Quapple was there and Connor Hall. They both got in the car. And it's my car, my seat. Little weird, not comfortable, not their own stuff. But they were just a bit off of my lap time. But so I feel
makes
like,
you feel good though.
dude, I felt like I was right in the ballpark. So that was the baseball car, and we're just, we just went up there and ran, I don't know, from 8 till 11 in the morning and then came home. It's only about 2.5 hour drive. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Big weekend for Cars Tour.
Yes, this weekend's a massive weekend for the Cars Tour. $50,000 to win late model stock race at Hickory. $30,000 pro late model race. I think those are the two biggest paying pro and late model stock races in the country. There may be some comparable events. I think obviously Martinsville's up there, and I'm sure the pros have some 20, 25, maybe another 30,000 to win race somewhere once a year. But I mean, these are
huge.
This is a huge weekend. This is the biggest weekend for the Cars Tour. That's it. That's as far as purse wise, I think it's a pretty big deal. So big thanks to Flo. If you want to watch it, I'm not gonna be in town, but I'm gonna be watching on Flo Saturday. We're gonna have probably about 40, 45 late model stocks. We'll probably have about 30 pros. And that's a lot of cars to fit into that little racetrack.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. I was hoping we'd have 60 and 60, and it really would have been impossible to get them all in there. But it is what it is, and we'll see who takes home the big prize. But I feel like that I just want to prepare people that for $50,000 it might get a little wild, and I hope that Kip and the guys are ready for whatever comes at them. And I hope that at the end of the day, we can all feel good about whatever the decisions are.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Ask Junior's always fun. I know y'all are, glad to be able to be a part or, engage in the show as we're making it every week. And so it's the best part, really, honestly, when we get everybody in the room together and everybody online. So thanks for supporting us. Thanks for supporting what we do here at Dirty Mo Media. Thanks for supporting the Dale Jr. Download that we're working on every single week. We have a blast doing this, and wouldn't be worth doing. Wouldn't be any fun doing it if nobody was tuning in and listening to what's going on. So thank you, Xfinity. Obviously, Xfinity Wi-Fi has been giving us great service. It's fast. It's dependable internet. One price, locked in for 5 years. No contracts, though. No slowdowns. No nonsense. Xfinity is a proud premier partner of NASCAR. All right, it's time for Dirty Mo-Doh. This segment of Dirty Mo-Doh is brought to you by FanDuel. Tampa Tim's is sliding into his seat. Russell should be here any moment. We missed our parlay again. But we're not going to give up.
Try again.
I saw some folks on the internet telling me not to quit, not to give up, even though we're not hitting these.
We might need to adjust.
They're hard to hit. We're close the last 2 weeks.
So close.
Maybe don't bet them as parlays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what fun is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tim's, you're the betting guy.
Yeah,
Well, we
bet 'em
missed
separate
the
and
parlay. Hamlin obviously wasn't the best Toyota. That was Bubba. And
I mean, didn't he finish third?
yep. Good job, Denny Bros, for shouting out Denny's third place result. Sorry,
saying,
that we didn't want to. We about missed that in this show.
Just want to make it known.
Almost.
That
We
weren't off.
just about forgot to celebrate Denny's third place result at Indy.
It's not our fault he wrecked in qualifying.
Blaney, who was the best Ford?
Priest.
Larson.
He was right there.
Yeah, we got him right. Damn. Well, nobody would have assumed. I mean, I don't want to say nobody, but Priest is the best Ford. I think might have been Josh Berry in that spot there before he ran out of gas. We hit on Bell over Reddick, Hamlin over Larson. We missed that one.
Yeah, by one spot.
Oh, damn.
Remember, he finished third.
Yeah. So we're now headed to. Where are you at, Russell?
I'm at your beach house, man. Thank you for having me.
I can't even see your eyes or your nose.
you were blended in with the.
What in the
with
hell?
sea.
Are you out on the bubble?
The hell?
Are you on the bubble of the Wi-Fi?
His Wi-Fi's not booming.
Let me give you a
Yeah.
little advice for
Xfinity.
your podcasting career. You don't want to be backlit by a window, okay?
Even with a beach.
James would actually even prefer you put a big sheet of cardboard between the blinds and the window behind you. Get you some cardboard there, buddy, and put it up on that window between the blinds and the window pane.
This is you. Like, this is what you look like.
All right.
The internet's getting better.
Russell thought he was never going to hear any more from me after Indy. Thought he was done.
Thought he was done.
Yep. He sent me a text. He goes, he sent me a text. He goes, damn, that was a long 10 weeks. I'm glad it's over. See you next summer. All right. So we head to Iowa. Vegas has the favorites, and it's Larson and Hamlin at 450, Blaney and Bell at 550, Byron at 900. Ooh. Russ, do you agree or disagree?
Totally agree.
Oh, yeah. Totally agrees with Vegas. Of course he does.
Why wouldn't you?
It gives them the numbers.
Hamlin, Larson, Blaney. They won like 11 of the last 14 short track races.
Yeah.
Like Blaney won there last year. Like Denny's been first and second this year. I just that those are the favorites.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised actually that they have Larson even with Hamlin. Larson's had a couple of good weeks. Everybody must feel like he's kind of back. How quickly we forget the struggle throughout the summer. I'm always kind of amazed at that. Christopher Bell, for example, he's championship favorite 6 weeks into the season. Man, what a season this guy's having. And then he disappears, and he'll come back and have a good top 5 run, and we'll be like, "Yep, Christopher Bell's been an amazing year for him." So we do that so often in this series now.
Now the predictor really likes Christopher Bell though this week.
Yeah, does it?
And also like you look at the NASCAR insights for like speed, passing, restarts. He's like 1, 2 in all of those.
So who has your attention, Tim's?
I like Blaney a lot. Blaney and Byron. I think Byron at plus 900 is good value, but Blaney was so fast here last year.
Yeah.
It's tough. And
He was really fast, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's only one race we've had in the Cup Series at Iowa, right? So
Very good,
Really
yeah.
only last year to go off of.
I know we can't count. We can't really look at Indy, but Blaney has not lost speed.
Yeah.
Blaney's speed is actually even a little better than last year. We just got a lot of DNFs, crashes, failures, things like that have muddied the water with Blaney and maybe have people struggling to trust what he might be able to accomplish. But I think Blaney's overall speed is actually just a tick better than what it was last year. So not a bad gamble to make, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I think he's going to be really competitive this weekend.
Are we leaving anyone out, TJ?
Josh. I think
Who?
Josh Berry.
Here at Iowa?
Yeah,
Josh Berry.
He almost won the race. I mean, he's with the 4 last year. He damn near won the race.
Yeah, but dude, they have been struggling.
I just think it's, you got somebody fast like with Blaney last year there. Got some notes to go off of.
Yeah.
Go to a place where he's probably, how good.
He needs a good run, dude.
He's looking forward to going here.
I'm on the Josh Wagon fan.
Really?
I'm a fan of Josh. Oh, yes. You might not know. But I also am a realist, right? And it's been a rough stretch. I mean, ever since he won in Vegas, it's kind of been rough. He had a pretty good run going this weekend, but just didn't have the fuel to do it. But, yeah, I'd love to see him go up there and run
I
good,
think he
win
can
a
run
race.
good.
Okay.
Stenhouse
What do you
put
think
together
here,
a race.
Russell? You believe this? Believe the things he's saying?
This was one of his best runs last year, so I understand why he's saying that. But I'm with you on he just hasn't put anything together this year.
You got me, you're swaying me, TJ, because Josh is a short track. If there is a track, if there's a track that fits Josh, it's the old, wore out, slick short track, right? And I was
It's got a little bit of repave the corners.
I was
and
an
stuff,
intermediate. I was a one. Iowa to me falls in the a little bit too big to be a short track, but it drives like one. And I think you might be able to tell me I told you so when it's all said and done.
I feel like he can go.
One of the
and have a good
rare
run.
moments.
He's going to be looking forward to going here.
One of the rare times in the calendar year.
Mark it down.
That TJ may be right.
I can look at. I mean, Russell's just going to be like, oh, here's the Vegas odds. This is what I'm going with. He don't.
Yeah, he don't.
He don't have the. Oh, this guy is actually pretty good. Like, I don't know. He doesn't have the racer look to it.
I think those Vegas people are pretty smart though.
Yeah.
Can I have you guy? I think they're very low on.
I can't take you seriously right now.
Me?
Yeah, you like got like a fancy hotel pillow as a shirt on.
It's very soft. Brian Priest is 65 to 1 to
I was
win.
going to mention him too.
I think that's super low. I mean, he's in good equipment and he's a good short track guy. He's won here in the Xfinity Series.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy if he pulled a win out.
I know. I don't know if he'll win, but top 10, he'll have some good odds for top 10. I think
He finds his way to that top 10.
Yeah.
Like,
We need to tell him this week that we need him to do good for us. That'd probably be illegal. Hey, run in the top 10 for us.
I'm going to tweet at him.
Make us a little money.
Yeah, can you do that for us? Can't do that.
You can't?
I mean, you can try. Yeah. You can do whatever you want to do. You just got to pay the consequences.
He can just disregard
Yeah.
us.
We'll send him a note. Sell a
Dearest
note.
Ryan Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, how illegal is it if you...
I don't want to find out. It's already starting bad.
How illegal is
I don't
it?
know.
They're investigating a lot of MLB pitchers for throwing some bad pitches.
I know, but you're not... What if...
I got to go to the bathroom.
Would they be getting investigated if they bet on themselves to throw 20 strikes and went out there and did it?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I
but-
mean,
'Cause
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can get mad at a guy for betting on himself to win.
I think they're betting on themselves to lose. That's the thing.
But we're talking about
Yeah,
Priest getting a top 10.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that...
because that's
I want you to do well.
Yeah.
Can you do well for me?
Would you prosecute a guy that bet on himself to win?
The predictor does have Josh Berry the best that's been all year.
Oh,
Oh, see?
He's 7th in speed on the short and intermediate tracks.
there we go. 7th in speed.
Taking it.
All right. We'll see how it goes. Hey, enjoy your time at the beach, Russell.
Who'd you
Hope
pick
you're-
as your did you
Oh,
do your
We
manufacturer?
didn't do it yet. I was just going to try to get away with it, but not doing it.
Why? Let's just do it.
All right, damn it. This will be a tough one.
Larson, Hamlin, Blaney.
Yeah.
We have chosen Larson, Hamlin, and Blaney. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I mean,
Let's mix it up. All right,
Let's do Bell instead of Hamlin.
let's do Bell.
yeah, let's do Val.
Bell. Sorry, Denny Bros. Larson and Priest.
Priest.
Sure.
Yeah. I like it.
He was the top 4 2 weeks in a row.
I like it.
All right, that's it. Priest, Bell,
Larson.
and Larson. See you, Russell.
See you, Russell.
All right, it's time for the white flag. The teardown was live on YouTube and Twitter following the race. Door bumper clear dropped on Monday. Freddie had Mark Martin as a guest on. And Actions Detrimental dropped on Monday. Denny yet again had to tell us how difficult it was to lose at Indy. But he was the winning car owner, so that was pretty cool. My interview with Ryan Priest drops on Wednesday. Herman Schrader, Speed Street, also out on Wednesday. Another episode of Bless Your Heart comes out on Thursday. And again, we mentioned the ZMAX Cars Tour Throwback Classic at Hickory is this weekend. The biggest night in pavement late model history. $50,000 to win late model stock, $30,000 to win pro late model. It's going to be awesome.
Big show.
Exclusively on Flow Racing. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.